Alright, so Jund Warriors. There's so like Soldiers, Warriors, Knights, Fish Lamp Clock, thanks for the 6 months, welcome back, are like the random creature types that exist in Standard, and there are a lot of random warriors in this format. So this deck gets to play 4 Unclaimed Territory on Warrior to help fix the mana to play cards like Gutterbones, like Pelt Collector early, while also playing cards like Goblin Chainwhirler in our deck that are very reasonable. So this deck also gets to leverage the Goblin Chainwhirler plus status combo, where you retain priority with your Chainwhirler trigger on the stack, and then status your Chainwhirler to kill their entire team. And the rest of the spells in this deck are just kind of reasonable spells. You get a lot of your base red with like a splash off the Unclaimed Territory. Frank Karsten went 6-4 with this in the constructed portion of Mythic Championship Cleveland. So let's go ahead and kick the tires on this and see how it goes. Do you like how I praise the mana base, and it's immediately just like, nah, Jeff, that's fine? Yeah, of course, Growth Chamber Guardian's an Elf Crab Warrior. Warriors, come out and play! Ooh, that's a good one. Bippity pop, the fun don't stop, chat. Yeah, Burgle, Unclaimed Territory is a land that plays Gutterbones on 1 that also casts Goblin Chainwhirler. Case in point. So because they let this resolve, I think I just pass here. I think they have an absorb, and I don't want to give them a good target for it. I watched that movie at some point during my adolescence, but I can't even tell you what it's about. I think I just play this and floop it. Just like keep the card advantage going here. This is a matchup where this card's not particularly good, unfortunately. Please tuck my Growth Chamber Guardian. Please tuck my Growth Chamber Guardian. Please tuck my Growth Chamber Guardian. Please tuck. Yeah! Whirly boy up in your base, shooting rockets in your face. Get out of here, Teferi. Get out. Get out. You're not welcome here, Teferi. Nobody loves you. I know I have another Growth Chamber Guardian coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, I could have picked Gutterbones back up. That's way better. That's way better than extending this into a Kaya's Wrath. Yeah, I should have 10 out of 10 picked my boy Gutterbones back up. Yep. That would have been much, much better. Thank you for pointing that out. Phoenix is just a good card here. Yikes, I'm super disappointed in myself that I missed that. Oh, they learned their lesson, chat. They've learned. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Little did we know. The red-black aggro build we played today was very bad. If you'd like a better version, I'd recommend you check out my website. I wonder if I'm supposed to lead on the Growth Chamber Guardian as bait here. Yeah, I think I could have probably baited the Absorb with this and then killed this with the statue. Now, this does leave me 8 power in play. I'd be so much better off if I'd have flipped Gutterbones back that turn.
Hurry!
Evil cannot withstand a righteous army.
Only time will tell.
Well, that worked out way better than expected. I think I lead on this, trying to get the counterspell. Oh, we're so good, chat. You could probably argue that I was a master at baiting. Just got him right where we want him. Stick the other Rekindling Phoenix in.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, it's a real shame we didn't have a removal spell here to beat their unplayable card. Just like imagine if I'd have played this game a little bit better and gotten back the Gutterbones that one turn. That's a yikes. They have to have a way to kill this egg, right? Yeah, otherwise they'd have eaten the Growth Chamber Guardian. Yeah, I agree. I think we send both of these here and we send this a card. This line does make it so if they have a single removal spell, they don't take damage this turn and deny me Spectacle. Alright, do you have an Absorb? They do. Yikes. Yep. Okay, that's good. That's good for us. That's good for us. That's why you just gotta jam. Just gotta head to the space jam. Am I supposed to wait here? Am I supposed to wait? They left a card on top. I think I'm going to pass. No, they have Cry in exile, and I killed their card. So Cry is not on the radar at the moment. So we don't get back the Phoenix if they draw a piece of spot removal. So like if they draw like Mortify or Cast Down, attacking with the Phoenix is really bad. I'm basically trading my Phoenix for 2 points of damage and a removal spell. Which like I want my Phoenix to do more than that. Well, the good news is that it didn't matter that the Rix Maadi didn't resolve because we weren't going to draw spells anyways. Actual good news, opponent also bricking, but I'd also assume the opponent's deck has more lands than ours does, so. They're also flooding, and Phoenix is just really good in this matchup. Okie dokie, artichoke. Upstairs. Upstairs. Great. God, stealing game 1 here seems huge. That seems super important. To cut these statuses out of my deck, get these Duresses in. I think I leave Collision and Harpooner in just because they kill Thief of Sanity in case they decide to go on that route. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I want to cut. Most of my cards seem pretty reasonable here. Like, why do we want Cindervines versus Esper? Cindervines just, like, gets mortified. Like, I get that it does a couple points of damage, but I think it's worse than a creature on average. Like, if the game gets to a point where Azcanta matters, usually you're losing. Maybe I trim a couple of Whirly Boy, although Whirly Boy does clean up Teferi after a tuck, which is kind of satisfying. Maybe Pelt Collector's not good enough. Yeah, I feel like Collector's probably okay. I could even see going down all the Collectors and like put the Cindervines in. Just like it's a little bit more resilient. I think I like that. Let's do that. Let's give that a try. It's like I agree that Cindervines is like fine, but like we don't just want cards that are fine, right? We want like our best 60. I think Whirly Boy is fine. He has the ability to claim just like a 3/3 for 3 that guarantees does the damage. It's just like not unreasonable. Take my thoughts, baby. Erase me. Erase me, opponent. Erase me. How do you get less tilted by thought erasure? Mulligan less, keep more hands, draw better spells, draw more spells. Have you considered being luckier? It's a good line. Being luckier is a good line for most things. As you can see here, I am not particularly good against thought erasure. Not very good at drawing more spells. Oh no! do we beat this card?
Makes good riddance to bad rubbish.
Wow, that's like scary good against us. Yikes. Man, could you imagine if Angrath could hit Planeswalkers? How much better would his plus be? He just like mow down Teferi. Guys, this card's good against Gutter Bones too. Ah, the answer to all things. Draw more spells.
I hope you've said your goodbyes already.
Spellbreaker would be the bee's knees. Oh no, they're just assuming we didn't draw anything. How'd they know, chat? They looked into our soul and they're like, Hogland can't draw a spell. I've met him before.
Pack your bags and hit the road.
I feel like we're heading in the direction of garbage time. Maybe they don't have a counterspell. They brought in Negate? Seriously? Negate is a good one to know about. That is a card that's like, we gained some information in that game. We gained some information. I think I'm gonna keep these over Lightning Strike. I think I like this. I can't imagine Thief is in their deck if they left Negate in. I should play this land on one. This is the wrong land. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. This deck name's Warrior on the Unclaimed Territory. Could we just like imagine for a second, modern players, if this was Cavern of Souls in this hand? Could you imagine how messed up this matchup would be if we could just like play four Cavern of Souls? That card is such a rancid stain of Magic design. That should be like Modern's tagline, right? Modern rancid stains of Magic's last 15 years. Have we drawn 2 spells in the last 2 games? I think it's been 2 spells. Thought erasure me, baby. Come get my thoughts. I got none. Ooh. Look, Mom, I drew a spell. I drew a spell, Mom. I'm excited. Negate me, baby. Are they casting a spell at the end of my turn that they could have cast in response to this? They're like gonna untap and Kaya me now. They're like untap Kaya, exile your Phoenix. Do they have the technology? Oh, they're gonna tuck the egg. Got it.
If you show remorse,
Oh, they have a cast down? It has to be a cast down, right? Yeah, is Krasis a warrior? Can we do that? Is that a thing? Ooh, they forgot to set the stop. They forgot to set the stop, chat. They forgot to set the stop. Whoopsie poopsie.
time for plan B, as soon as I think of one.
Do 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 do. They just forgot to set their stop chat. If you don't click on your end of turn, you don't get priority after your Teferi untap happens. So they probably didn't intend to do it there, and it was just a misclick. Hey, look, it didn't matter. And I've got 2 Harpooners, and I've got 2 collisions in my deck. 3 Harpooners, 2 collisions. Yeah, also have huge tracts of land. Yeah, his hand does stuff. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Man, that card's like unbeatable if we can't kill it, huh? Am I supposed to like hang tight until I can like set up the Whirler combo? Or like statue that? Am I just supposed to like pump the brakes? Like if I like play Growth Chamber Guardian and like it just gets eaten, I think I'm just supposed to hang tight until I can kill this. And if they tap out again next turn, I can Chainwhirler status combo them. No, I don't want to cast a creature because I don't want them to like priest me next turn. So if they attack with the priest, we can combo them. If they don't attack with the priest, yeah, I like not attacking with the priest here. So now I play this. I think we just kill this now. So am I unhappy? Yeah, so I can't Whirler status it because they'll make me sacrifice it in response. So I think I just use the statue part and destroy this. Not a Tiger, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Afternoon, Vixed. Yeah, but I don't really want to force them to use the thing on their turn. Like, that doesn't really add benefit to me. So this next turn, I can Chainwhirler, kill the Tithe Taker, and then Kraul Harpooner Kraul Harpooner, kill the token that's left over. I mean, the Pontiffs are, like, annoying to a degree. They do need a constant chain of creatures to feed into the Pontiffs, and, like, my Growth Chamber Guardians generate card advantage every turn. So, like, if they attack with both these Pontiffs this turn, I'm just double blocking. Tumbledwire, your life will be so much infinitely happier just not talking to those people. Just don't do it. Life's too short. Don't do it. Getting annoyed on stream the other day when I banned a bunch of people that were arguing about Modern was the most annoyed I'd been on stream in a long time, and it made me realize that, like, interacting with people who have opinions on Modern was just, like, the worst part of my life. Remove needless negativity from your life. This is a pretty easy block here. I know how my marketing works, Dad. I knew that would be a highly clicked upon video. I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and play the 2/2 out here as well. If they want to attack him with the 3/2 I just blocked next turn. What cards do I think would help Modern? You can't fix Modern's... So here's the thing. One, it's a question on whether or not Modern even needs help. A lot of people are super happy with Modern how it is. Wizard of the Coast and people that design Magic cards are on record saying they feel Modern is healthy in its current state. So, like, and then you need your... So now... Even if you think there does need to be a change, you need to define, okay, what does the change need to be? Like, what are we unhappy with and how are we trying to change it? But until you figure out the answer to those questions, you can't really say this needs this unless we know what our goal is for it to be. We've got huge tracts of land. The good news is I have 4/4s to go with them. Do I just like Smash? I think I just make 2 more 4/4s and just continue to turtle. It might just be Smash. I think it's just Smash and then play 2 more 4/4s. Yeah, we've been flooding a lot with this deck. How many lands are in this deck? I think I remember it being high for an aggro deck. Yeah, there's 25 lands in this deck, which is really high for a low to the ground aggro deck, right? Alright, so their blocks there were a little bit incorrect. They definitely should have blocked the other one and then sacked it if that was the line they were gonna take. I am out of farty crab, people. I feel like for the volume of lands that this deck has, it really lacks a payoff for when you get really big. There's no Hydroid Crisis in this deck, right? Hellkite's an interesting idea. Hellkite's an aggressive card that gives you a payoff for having lots of mana. I don't hate that idea. It does work with status as well. Some kind of aggressive card that's also a mana sink. Like, Growth Chamber Guardian's a mana sink to a degree, I suppose. Like, we kind of won this game in spite of flooding because Growth Chamber Guardian allowed us to dump mana, so maybe it's fine. Gosh, Lava Coil is great. Do you have a link offhand to that one, Nifty? I guess I can pull it up. I don't know how to navigate their website. Harpooner's probably not very useful. I think I want all my cheap removal. Collision Colossus probably isn't needed. Need 2 more cuts now. Thank you, Nifty. I don't know what 900 by 60 means. Blocky's probably an issue with your connection, though. The stream preview is perfectly fine. I'm nowhere near my bandwidth limit. I'm streaming at 1080p and 60 FPS, and the rate at which I have 100 Mbps up from my system that I'm streaming from, and streaming on Twitch barely clips 3 with Magic Arena, sometimes 3.5. Shangri-Las, thank you for the Prime support. Thanks for checking in for the 2nd month in a row. This hand's super awkward, but I think it's a keep. The fact this card can block is great. This is a straight green-red build. Okay. Wasn't playing status statue. I think I'm gonna play Dragonskull Summit tapped on 1 here. So this way, if they play Forgotten Priest on Priest of the Forgotten, whatever, on 2, I can Lightning Strike it. Shockland's not a terrible draw here. Let's buy the lands come into play untapped at least. Thorn Lieutenant's interesting. I don't know if that's better than the other cards we're playing. Jake the Manic, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So I'm going to Lightning Strike this Midnight Reaper in response here, because I don't want them to let this Pitless Pontiff come into play and then sack their Footlight Fiend to kill my Gutterbones plus draw a card. I'm just gonna trade these because mine comes back and this makes their Pontiff better. Rude. I literally just said mine comes back, opponent. Why do you have to be so mean? Getting the Consecrate out of their hand with the Gutterbones when I have a Phoenix to play is, like, pretty reasonable for us, though. Like, happy with that exchange. Oh. Yeah, I agree. The Gutterbones seemed kind of lackluster, and that would probably... Gutterbones is probably my pick to swap out if we wanted to fit Skarrgan Hellkite in here. The rest of the deck seems pretty reasonable, but I do feel like I want a little bit of chunk in the top end. I think Hellkite's probably exactly what the doctor ordered. Gutterbones kind of has diminishing returns. I think Pelt Collector allows you some nice, really aggressive starts. I want to try Pelt Collector a little bit before I pull him. Like, Pelt Collector with Rekindling Phoenix especially is pretty powerful. Just because Phoenix comes back again and again and again and can get your Pelt Collector up to a 4/4. We haven't drawn Pelt Collectors yet today, but I think on the surface what it's doing seems pretty reasonable. Harpooner's also good with Pelt Collector. Agree with that assessment. Yeah, I think in the match after this one we're gonna pull the Gutterbones and slot in 3 dragons. Because I might be a Hellkite addict. I love that card. Phoenix plus Hellkite are just like a great match. Has my opinion changed on Is It Wizards in Modern? I don't know. It's as good as any interactive deck in Modern can be. Which is to say, kind of okay, but not really. And we have 25 lands, so like the number of lands we have in our deck is like certainly enough to support a 5-drop. Yikes. Yikes! They get my Phoenix. I needed that bird, opponent. That bird was my everything. Oh, that was bad. Should have striked this in response. I think Judah's probably a little bit hard to cast on average. So they block, they sack Gutterbones. In response to their trigger, we Lightning Strike this, and then we trample over for the full 3. I will tell you, RJ Walsh, that I am nowhere near the bitrate limit for Twitch, and the issues are on your end. Good golly. Kaya just giving us the business here. Our poor eggs have nothing to hatch into. Our poor eggs have nothing to hatch into. Oh, it's another land. Yeah, I think main deck Kaya is very reasonable right now. She's super good against mono blue, and she's randomly good against Drakes and other things like that. She's fine against white aggro too. She helps stabilize your health total. So we're dead. I think we're dead.
You're just fuel to fire your crew for my freedom. A fair price.
Yeah, it's fine against Drakes. I don't know what I call it great, but it's fine. It's also like reasonable at turning off Azcanta, which is nice.
Devil's Chain.
Is Kaya the only situational planeswalker? No, every card in Magic is situational. Well, the power level of cards is contextual to the format in which they're being played. Grixis Drakes was okay.
That's what I do.
We ran a little bit bad in the matches that we played, I feel like. Hey, Visions, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I am pretty in pink. Legacy. We were no match for Legacy Staple Angrath. I'm gonna cut Gutterbones in the face of Kaya. Put this Rix Maadi back in. Play some Angraths of my own. Sure, let's do it. Someone asked if I'm going to take a break for the Modern announcement. I don't know. There's a lot of people watching this stream that don't care. There's a lot of other people that do care that'll watch both streams at once. There's a lot of other people that do care that'll just watch the announcement after the fact. They don't need to watch it the exact second. Feel free to discuss. Okay, we got some 3/3s with. Are these better as 3/3s with haste or 4/4s? Maybe these are better as 4/4s. You're probably better as 4/4 tramplers in this matchup. I expect it's going to involve some direct to modern reprints, which sounds sweet. Just, you know, have low expectations going in. If your expectations are low, it's difficult to be disappointed. This is the part where I take Judith and attack them, right? Or do I take Pontiff and attack them? This is the part where I take Pontiff and attack them, right? So if I go to take Judy, they sacrifice it to Pontiff. Frylock, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around.
Here be monsters.
Yoink.
Your crew for my freedom. A fair price.
The nice thing about the Spellbreakers having hexproof on my turn is they can't finish them with triggers from Judith, and they have trample, which is great.
I've weathered tougher storms than you.
Playable Abzan. I don't think any of the Abzan color combination decks we've played have felt particularly good. Seems like a trade I'm pretty happy with there. Kicked my water bottle across the room by mistake. Alright, so they're super dead. Combo! So, I enable full control mode here so I can respond to my own trigger. I kind of into what this deck is doing. I really like these Chainwhirler aggressive mid-range decks, but I think Gutter Bones is some hot nonsense in this deck. I think Gutter Bones is some hot nonsense in this deck. I think I'm gonna go ahead and replace that with some dragons. And then the question becomes, if Unclaimed Territory is no longer a tri-land, is it worth playing? I guess it's just another green-red duel. It's another green-red land for my other thing, so yeah, it probably is worth playing. Yeah, I think so. I think it's worth keeping around. I think Gutter Bones was like a cheeky, we could do it, so we did it. At least that's what it looks like on the surface, right? Can you tell a chunk of sub-gifts just fell off? Oh. This hand would be absurd if it had a green source in it. Unfortunately, it does not. I'm gonna keep this with this guy. Our 23 lands left in our deck. Perfect. I mean, Rix Maadi plus Gutter Bones is, like, kinda sweet, to be fair. The build of Red-Black Aggro we played was very bad. Garden Variety Troll. The wrap-up was just play the build on my website. They took the thing that was different, chat. Alright, Goblin Chainwhirler, I choose you. Nah, more avatars isn't stupid. Hopefully they monetize the crap out of there being more avatars too soon. Land. Man, drawing a land there and getting to Whirler, kill this thief would have been so good. You can just play another one out. They're down to 15. We hit them for 6, down to 9. We play another Whirler, they go to 8. The magic announcement's supposed to be in 2.5 hours. Been 2 lands, feels bad, man. Major removal spell off my deck, yikes. Sweet, alright. Alright, down to 11, dead in 2. Even if they draw land, Kaya's Wrath here. If we draw land, we can go Growth Chamber Guardian, Fart Growth Chamber Guardian. They don't have Absorb mana up, so we get to put them to 5 here and then play Rekindling Phoenix. Esper Control, doing Esper Control things over on the other side of the table. They would have needed, like, land Vraska's Contempt into Kaya's Wrath the following turn, even then they're still pretty far behind. Angrath, Duress, Cindervines, Collision, Trim, Pelt Collector, Trim, Status Statue. Seems pretty reasonable. This Lightning Strike's probably not very good. I want the extra Harpooner. I want the Fine Finality, like this. Yeah, warrior is what you name for Unclaimed Territory. Hey, thanks for the Prime Waterfalls. Hope you're having a good one. Happy Thursday. Yeah, seems like not amazing, but it's fine. It's like 2-drop into 3-drop. I don't know if I have any really that stand out too much, Dauber. A lot of my things are like smaller automation style things. I saw an ad and got confused. It's a good reminder. Look at those lands. Those lands totally cast Absorb. They have assembled basic land, Tron, yep. These are my thoughts. My Phoenix is going away, I assume, here. Spellbreaker getting in for those 6 points of damage. I mean, you know why basic island's great? It means I'm not going to get Kaya's Wrath next turn. Ooh. Oh, look at all these cards that impact the board. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get frisky. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Nice, mate. Yeah, the climb deck just generates the play patterns in the climb deck are some of my favorite for sure. Will I be streaming on February 29th? That's a good question. Probably not. Yep. Remove Gutter Bones from the deck box. Gutter Bones shall remain on the deck box as a reminder of things that once were. We did finally see a Pelt Collector. Immediately ship it. I mean, are the 80% like the Grixis control bracket? You just, like, lose enough, you get into the bracket of mono Grixis control decks? Rude. Man, so how about these Overgrown Tombs? What are the top 3 decks in Standard at the moment? Mono Blue, Sultai, Esper Control. Alright, Gruul Spellbreaker, I believe in you. He's going the distance. He's going ball speed. He's all alone. In this time of need, he's racing and pacing and plotting the calls. Oh, poor Spellbreaker. You just keep on keeping on, Mr. Spellbreaker. What version of Sultai do I favor? I have no idea. I don't really enjoy the play patterns of Sultai, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. Yeah, I agree, Kappa. Just really, really good balance in the top of the format right now. So, generally speaking, what you want to do with your Riot counters is determined by not only the board state, but also your role in a specific matchup. The Winding Road, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, if your deck needs to take an aggressive role in the matchup, generally you want to be hasting your creatures so you can kill them. Also, with a card like Spellbreaker, by hasting... Land. Oh, yeah! Here there'll be dragons! If you're the aggressor, you're generally choosing haste more often than not. Whereas if you're playing, assuming a more defensive role, you'll be blocking more often, which then having bigger creatures, it tends to be better for blocking. Alright, so Duress seems fine here. Actually, do I want to leave Status Statue in for killing their hostage takers? Could you imagine those dragons? I guess if they'd been Gutter Bones, maybe we'd have aggroed them down earlier. Yeah, I like Spellbreaker a lot in this build for sure. I'm gonna leave a smattering of removal in for their hostage takers and other things. These are a few of my favorite things. No, not my thoughts. Ooh, that's exciting. So, note, we want to make sure we play Blood Crypt here and not Overgrown Tomb, so this way we can cast Goblin Chainwhirler next turn if we draw it. Alrighty, we'll take the card we can never beat. Not that we're excited to see a Moment of Craving, but... Look at that. Whirly boy up in your base, shooting rockets in your face. Do-do-do-do-do-do. What's your toy? Perfect. Get him, got him good. And now we play the waiting game. What's the best draw here? Removal spell for Nicol Bolas. I've got 2 copies of Statue, and I've got 1 copy of Lava Coil in my deck. Roach Chamber Guardian's not a terrible draw either. Oh, it's probably not racing the Nicol Bolas. Hey, JPEG, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I kind of would have wanted to draw a land there so I could, like, play another 2-2 out. Because now when they draw a land, they're going to get to flip Nikki B. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Maybe I want some more Lava Coils in my deck. Killing Nick and Hostage Shaker is pretty important. Although, Lava Coil doesn't really kill Hostage Shaker before it has an impact, which is relevant. Maybe I just leave how we are on the play and just be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe this isn't a fine Finality matchup. Maybe I just want to be a little bit more interactive. Harpooner is probably not unreasonable. I'm going to do that. Think this is too slow? Eh, it's probably too slow. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna do this. Let's get more creatures in on the play. Yeah, Harpooner's just a good stat line, right? Like, in an aggressive deck, you're pretty happy to play a 3-power 2-drop on turn 2, and then, like, it's also an adaptable card that's, like, flexible in different spots to kill things like Nicol Bolas or Thief of Sanity and stuff like that. A lot of people have attributed the variety and good gameplay in this format to the fact that we have good mana from Ravnica, but in a lot of ways, the good things about this format are because there's so many modal cards, so many cards that, like, do different things, even if they don't directly say choose to do different things. And, like, honestly, the fact that the mana is so good right now, and there's so many good mono-colored decks, is another testament to just how well designed the format is, right? Because, like, the mana is great, but there's still meaningful reasons to play mono-colors is, like, something worth pointing out. Alright, and now they cast Thought Erasure and take our only spell, and then we attack with the Harpooner while we draw more lands. I really kind of feel like this deck's kind of just a bad version of the red-black mid-range deck. Like, this deck's got a little bit more of an aggressive slant. The fact that this deck is a little bit more of an aggressive slant than that deck, I don't think makes up for the fact that, like, it just lacks power at the top end for the most part. So we're going to cast Ritualist next turn. I'm just going to weep silently over here. Domri doesn't give you powerful top end. That's not what Domri does. Domri does a terrible attempt at a divination one time, and then, like, makes you a marginally more aggressive. Yeah, things like Explore and good cantrips like Opt definitely go a long way towards helping too. I mean, we didn't really make if changing 3 cards in our deck made us a mid-range deck from Karsten's build, then Karsten's build was a mid-range deck. Oh, that's pretty punishing. I know they played Nicol Bolas. That was a bad land to play. So, like, I'd draw 3 cards here if I'd have held a land in my hand. So, we probably would have won this match if I'd have played slightly better here. That card's real bad against Rekindling Phoenix. This game is close because I messed up on the turn before they played the Nicol Bolas. Might still be in this, but definitely a little bit behind at the moment. I mean, that deck does what I'm talking about, Be Rich. So I said this deck is good, feels okay, but it feels worse than the decks that are more mid-range. And, like, that deck is more of a mid-range deck than what this deck is doing. And people keep mentioning that we're flooding. This is a 25-land deck that's trying to be aggressive. In order to make the colors work in this deck, it's playing 25 lands. You're gonna flood a lot with 25 lands. It's just how it works. So, like, this is a deck that's playing a lot of lands to flood out that also doesn't have good ways to leverage when that happens. Like, we added Hellkites to kind of, but I think the other decks, like the green-red more mid-range decks, and the red-black deck, the top 8 that won the Grand Prix, like, those directions are better directions to take this archetype, to take it and pull up, rather than trying to be this low-to-the-ground thing with 25 lands in it. So, there's a good chance we win this specific game. And again, like, the result of the specific game or match we're playing doesn't really impact what I'm talking about here. We're just trying to talk about how the deck feels and how the things are coming together. So, if you want to count actual match wins, that the deck that we're playing probably would have won that game 3 if I hold my land to play around Nicol Bolas there. But I think, in general, what this deck is doing feels worse than either the red-black, the Jund, or the Gruul, the green-red decks that pull up and go a little bit bigger. I think this being lower to the ground with Pelt Collector just doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the format that's going on. I'd rather just have more to do with my mana in the mid to late game, because there's a lot of good tools that allow you to do that. Alright, what are we doing? Esper Angels. We might actually get to one after Esper Angels still today. I'm not sure how long I want to go. Maybe I'll end early since I ran late yesterday and there's the announcement this afternoon.